Candace Owens stirred up a hornet's nest as she faced a rabid panel of Democrats eager to paint most of America as white nationalists, a fantastical label that opens the doors to criminalize every American that disagrees with the Democratic Party.
And now we see witnesses invited by the minority who openly associate with purveyors of hate. White nationalism and its proliferation online have real consequences. Americans have died because of it. I did not call this hearing so that some may promote the very messages we need to combat. We must together rebuke those who seek to divide us through a message of hate.
How is YouTube working to stop the spread of far-right conspiracies intent on skewing users' perceptions of fact and fiction?
So I thank the chairman for convening this hearing and regret that there are some on this panel who have tried to hijack this hearing and desecrate the lives lost to the hate crimes and violence of white supremacists by attempting to use this as an opportunity to promote a political position or a political party. And I think that is despicable and deeply regrettable.
Yes, I actually wanted to respond to Congressman Cicilline because he was making references to me, and I thought that was a bit cowardly. He said he was dishonest when he said that the president refused to condemn white nationalism. Mr. Potts just literally gave the exact quote, the president doing just that. He does not want to accept the reality that the president has under multiple occasions condemned white supremacy and white nationalism, and the best condemnation of that is in the president helping the black community every single day with his policies.
Of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking.
I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler.
So when people try to legitimize Adolf Hitler, does that feed into white nationalist ideology?
It does, Mr. Liu.
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives.
On one side, the ADL brought the lucrative anti-white and pro-reparations agenda.
The core ideology of white nationalists, which is a euphemism for white supremacists, is the belief in the imminent extinction of the white race because of a flood of non-white people and other people that they feel are degenerate, all orchestrated, puppeteered by Jews.
Sheila Jackson Lee even managed to put Thomas Jefferson on the spot.
You mentioned, if you would just very quickly just say it again, Mr. Thomas Jefferson's assessment of slaves. Could you just say that again for the record?
Intellectually inferior. We are unattractive physically. And let me find the last horrible thing he said. There's no tenderness in our love.
In the middle, the social media overlords, who determine what is now hate speech and what isn't based on the massive leftist bias in Silicon Valley.
Here you have someone that's calling, we crush the United States under our feet, etc. That was reported, and within a minute, the report came back from Instagram that there's no problem here. Basically, these aren't the drones you're looking for, just move on. if you're going to enforce these standards, why are they so quickly enforced and erroneously enforced against people like my friends Diamond and Silk, and why someone who wants to destroy the United States and kill everyone in this room gets a pass when others don't?
Thank you, Congressman. I'm not familiar with that exact example.
And on the far end, lightning bolts of reason and modern American patriotic frustration.
What are your thoughts about President Trump's remarks regarding the Charlottesville demonstration, where he's quoted as saying, "You also had some very fine people on both sides"?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because the media has really completely distorted the truth of that episode. What he meant, and he said so when he said it, is that they're fine people who want to get rid of Robert E. Lee's statue, and they're fine people who are not haters, who believe for historical reasons they want to keep that statue. And he made that clear. And then in the same breath, Mr. Gomer, in the same breath, President Trump said, quote, "I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists when I say fine people, because they should be condemned totally." And yet the media has never made that clear, that he, in that statement, he condemned neo-Nazis and white nationalists. He did not mean that they were fine people. Quite the contrary. He's disgusted by those people.
Do you consider yourself a conservative?
I am a conservative, yes.
Okay. Are you pro-life?
I am pro-life.
Okay. Does that trigger people when you see them, that they know that you're pro-life?
It makes them very upset, and Democrats hate me.
Do you hate Americans with black skin color?
Absolutely not. I actually love Americans with black skin color so much that I'm willing to fall on the sword 1,000 times for them to wake up and realize that we are being lied to, abused, and used by the Democrat Party.
How about Americans with white skin color? Do you hate them?
I do not, and that's a problem for people on the left.
Do you hate Hispanics?
I do not.
Do you hate Asians?
I do not.
Do you hate lesbians or gays or anybody from the LGBTQ community?
Nope, I've got all of that in my family.
I'm baffled because in the chairman's opening statement, he said that you openly associate with purveyors of hate.
Yes, purveyors of hate, by his definition, is anybody that supports the president. I support the president because he's done a tremendous job in helping the black community, despite all of the rhetoric from the media and leftists. Bottom line is that white supremacy, racism, white nationalism, words that once held real meaning, have now become nothing more than election strategies. Every 4 years, the black community is offered handouts and fear. Handouts and fear. Reparations and white nationalism. This is the Democrat preview.
In response to Turning Point USA's communications director Candace Owens' testimony, actor Jeffrey Thorne said that conservatives will never accept her, adding, "They will never think of you as anything but an obedient, as if all American conservatives are white and are simply Klansmen posing as politicians."
Oh, well, I just see right now Candace Owens is getting 15 minutes of fame, and just give me 30 seconds to prove my point. She just, again, assumed that all Democrats are hoping that black people fail. On her interview with C-SPAN, she says that the word nationalism has been compromised or poisoned by elitists. Tell that to the people in Charlottesville.
I am confident in my ideas. I am confident in the fact that black America is waking up and realizing that we have been missing out. I am confident that the biggest issue facing our community is father absence, which further deconstructs everything that is happening. Stop cutting me off. I didn't cut you off, okay?
I have not
attacked you.
If you want to combat hate, Democrats, how about eliminating your daily manipulation of it as a political strategy to control your constituency?
Democrat. She has basically said that every Democrat, the most diverse party of minorities, of people of color.
John Bound reporting.